natin. Okay.
إن الحمد لله نحمده في السراء وفي الضراء وحين البأس، نحمده ليلا ونحمده نهارا، ونحمده على كل حال، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، قل اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير. وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعاني فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون. وأشهد أن سيدنا وعزيزنا وهادينا محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم عبده ورسوله. لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة لمن كان يرجو الله واليوم الآخر وذكر الله كثيرا. من يطع الله ورسوله وأولي الأمر من المؤمنين فلا مضل له، ومن يعص الله ورسوله وأولي الأمر من المؤمنين فلا هادي له. أما بعد, dear committed Muslims, here we are in our second week of this month-long observance of fasting. And to skip the well-known information about the physical fast, let us consider the other important complementary aspect of fasting, and that is the fasting of our senses. We spoke previously about our appetites. We have an appetite for food. We have an appetite for sex. And we have an appetite for wealth. These appetites have receptors to them. And the receptors to these appetites are our senses. Our eyes, our ears, our mouth, our hands and legs. And in this month of Ramadan, we're not only expected to control our stomach, our abdomens and our pelvic parts, We are also expected to take control of our senses. Therefore, an eye should not focus or concentrate on anything that will arouse the instinct. The same thing can be said about our ears. Our ears should be fasting from anything that will stimulate our carnal desires. Our tongue should be fasting, and we should not be involved in spewing out words that will create bad feelings and misunderstandings with the people around us. If we have this combined discipline of fasting, we can achieve the maximum results of our fast. The book of Allah in Surah Al-Isra says, an ayah says, اقرأ كتابك كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا. This ayah speaks to each one of us in the future when we are in front of Allah Jalla wa Ala, and the words that we hear are Iqra, read, meaning here's your book of life, what you did in your world. Now is the time for you to pronounce what you did. Iqra كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا. Suffice it that now on this day your nafs becomes your conscience. In this world, our nafs, the one that we are trying to control in this month of Ramadan, wants to go this way or that way. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. See? Our nafs in this world is attracted to things. It could be attracted to virtue and it could be attracted to vice. But on that day, when we are summoned to be held accountable in front of Al-Haqq subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ayah is telling us, اقرأ كتابك كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا. Now your nafs, it's no longer in the world. This Ramadan you have the opportunity. Allah is teaching us how to control and how to proportionalize and how to discipline this nafs. But on the day of accountability, this nafs is going to become our conscience. اقرأ كتابك كفى اليوم بنفسك عليك حسيبا. كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا. The Prophet of Allah, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, says, الصوم جنة. As-sawm is a veneer of protection. It's like an insulation. الصوم جنة فإذا كان صوم يوم أحدكم فلا يرفث ولا يصخب. If it is a day of fasting that you have, you do not engage in morally demeaning acts, nor do you partake in socially demeaning acts. That means you can't violate your conscience and you can't violate the law, Allah's law. فإن قاتله أو شاتمه أحد فليقل إني صائم. If a person comes to you during this time of fasting and he tries to argue with you just for argumentation, or he tries to pick a fight with you, you say to him or to her, Inni Sa'im, I am fasting. والذي نفس محمد بيده لخلوف فم الصائم أطيب عند الله من ريح المسك. By he, the Prophet is saying, whose life is in Allah's hand, the bad breath of one of you for Allah, that breath is more favorable than the fragrance of musk. In the medical community, halitosis, bad breath, which is generated by our willpower to fast. If we weren't fasting, most of us will not have that bad breath. But if that bad breath is a result of our fasting, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes what appears to us to be somewhat disgusting. لِلصَّائِمِ فَرْحَتَانِ يَفْرَحُهُمَا. A person who fasts has two times in which he will delight. إِذَا أَفْطَرَ فَرِحَ بِفِطْرِهِ. When he or she breaks their fast, they delight because they are taking in nourishment. You're eating and drinking now, and there's a delight in that because you've been fasting for the past 10, 12, 15, 16, whatever hours in whatever part of the world you are in. وَإِذَا لَقِيَ رَبَّهُ فَرِحَ بِصِيَامِهِ. And when he or she meets their sustainer, Allah Jalla wa Ala, they delight in their siyam, in the time that they fasted in the world. See the juxtaposition here. You delight when you break your fast, and you delight when you are in front of Allah because you fasted. There is some information about fasting. I thought I'd pass this along. It is said, this may be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, or it may be an approximation of it. It is said in some of these books that Prophet Nuh alayhi salam fasted his whole life. Prophet Dawood alayhi salam fasted every other day. Prophet Isa alayhi salam fasted One day